or adults that can be vulnerable to these acts of cannibalism. Excuse me. I think I've answered your question.
Yes,
Yeah. Yes.
Mpaka pia ndio limechochea sana wasi
Kweli.
baina ya jamii zinazoishi. Na zile serikali zilizotangulia zimeshindwa kutekeleza hiyo tatizo. Je, serikali ya Kenya Kwanza iko tayari kuleta suluhu katika tatizo hilo?
Kweli, that's a very good question, and I'm sure. Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to ask, with the government also bidding for the fact that there is no vetting before approval of identification, don't we also risk empowering such
aliens in the country? Now, on the border between the three counties here, border problems are all over the country. We have discovered through Jukwaa Usalama that border issues is a problem all over the country, and it is fueling conflict between communities. So the question of border between Turkana and West Pokot, for example, and some parts of Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot, Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet, and so forth. These issues are very emotive, and it cannot be left only to the Ministry of Interior or to be made a security issue. This is an issue that is beyond. It is not even a boundary issue insofar as IBC is concerned, because you are establishing where exactly the 1992 districts boundaries are. And we are going to be making a recommendation to the cabinet and to the national government to find a ways of using modern technology to establish beacons, the exactly coordinates, digital coordinates for all the counties. Then it can reduce the kind of fights that people fight. And you know, sometimes the fight of boundaries doesn't happen until there are resources. Like the case where you are mining along the border, then it creates a lot of fights among communities. And it's not here alone. From coast, from Taita Taveta, between Taita Taveta and Kwale, from Tana River and Kitui, from Lamu and Garissa, from Isiolo and Wajir, the same thing from Meru and Isiolo. It's everywhere. It's not a question of West Pokot and Turkana or West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet or Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo. It's a problem that needs to be dealt with once and for all, and holistically, not as one issue, not so that it doesn't create this thing of going to every place to have barasas. There's nothing wrong with our Turkana living in West Pokot if delimitations show that the boundaries in West Pokot, and there's nothing wrong with West Pokot living a citizen of, a Pokot living in Turkana. We are in Kenya. Just these are boundaries for administrative purposes that are just supposed to be done to make sure that you appreciate the administrative boundaries for our country. And that's a very good question. On the issue of issuance of ID, again, this is a very important issue. We shall be discussing issuance of ID because West Pokot has a great potential of up to 40, almost 50% of its adult population do not have IDs. And we want to see how to accelerate. When I was in Turkana yesterday, I said we're going to have mobile registration to ensure that we bring these citizens who do not have IDs to the fold, to national conversation, so that they can register for SHA, they can get birth certificate for their children, they can progress like every other Kenyan in this country, and they can contribute meaningful to national development, including decision making in terms of choosing their leaders that they want at the grassroots and national level. That process is not just, when I say that we are going to issue IDs to people, people think it's just going to be free. The chief has a place where they sign, and that when they sign, they bind themselves. The applicant also has a place where they sign. If they sign, they bind themselves. Of course, we have other security systems, how to confirm or investigate situations where people may want to take advantage of these processes. Otherwise, we do not want to subject Kenyans to a situation where they don't get IDs in good time. And as we've said, you will see from here, we are saying you apply for your ID, you get it within 3 days. And if it delays so much, 7 days. We want to make sure that all these young people have their documents in place. Sante sana. Let me take the last one, and the rest we will do it from. I'll lenga you, Shaban, so that I take the locals here. You and the last one is yourself.